You're watching KPVM News 46. Weekend Review. With Deanna O'Donnell. And Jason Koblenz.
Welcome to News 46's Weekend Review, your #1 source for local news. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Jason Koblenz. The suspect in the Aurora Theater shooting that occurred early last Friday morning made his initial court appearance this last week in Colorado. 24-year-old James Holmes is accused of killing 12 people and wounding 58 others in one of the worst mass shootings in U.S. history.
Holmes appeared before a judge in what's being called an initial advisement. A decision on official charges of whether to pursue the death penalty is expected to come later. This is the first real look the public has had of the suspect, who has been held in solitary confinement since being taken into custody within minutes of the shooting early last Friday morning. Holmes, sporting dyed orange hair and wearing a maroon jail jumpsuit, is reportedly refusing to cooperate with investigators. Holmes appeared dazed this morning during his 11-minute court hearing, at times opening his eyes wide and at other times seeming to be falling asleep.
The duty judge has made a preliminary determination of probable cause to believe you committed the offense of first-degree murder, which is a Class 1 felony under Colorado law. Ordinarily, individuals are entitled to bail. Given the nature of the charges, you are currently being held on a no-bond hold. You also have a right to have a jury trial and preliminary hearing to determine whether there's probable cause to believe that you're the person that committed the offense.
The district attorney may be asking for the death penalty in this case. He's being held on suspicion of first-degree murder, and he could also face additional counts of aggravated assault and weapons violations. Authorities say the former graduate student is refusing to cooperate, and it could take months to learn what prompted the horrific attack on moviegoers at the midnight screening of the latest Batman film. During the attack, Holmes allegedly set off gas canisters and used a semi-automatic rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol to open fire. Police have said Holmes began buying guns at Denver area stores nearly 2 months before the shooting, and that he received at least 50 packages in 4 months at his home and school. He recently purchased 6,000 rounds of ammunition over the internet. And once again, James Holmes will be back in court next Monday, July 30th, for the official charges. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
The involvement of a second suspect in the Colorado shooting has been discounted after police confirmed that another person who was taken in for questioning was only an associate and was not believed to be linked to the shooter, James Holmes.
The alleged shooter in the Aurora, Colorado theater massacre is apparently showing signs of amnesia. Accused mass murderer James Holmes is telling jailhouse workers that he does not know why he is in jail. The workers are reporting that he is faking the symptoms. The 24-year-old Holmes is charged with shooting a dozen people to death and wounding 58 more at a screening of the new Batman movie. He is also apparently complaining of a stomachache caused by lousy jail food after a 6th-day at the Arapahoe County Detention Center. The suspect remains under 23-hour lockdown, leaving his cell just once a day. Authorities fear that other inmates could target Holmes and have him wear a bulletproof vest during his daily walk.
Published reports indicated that Holmes mailed a notebook filled with gruesome sketches and details of his plans for the attack in the crowded theater. The notebook was in a package sent to a university psychiatrist, who is also a professor at the University of Colorado, where Holmes was a PhD candidate until dropping out of school just prior to the killings. The FBI snapped up the evidence after school officials notified them that the package was at the university. In a statement, the university denied a report that the package sat in its mailroom for a week before the shooting spree. The package was delivered by the U.S. Postal Service on the Monday after the shootings and forced the evacuation of a campus building for 2.5 hours. While Holmes' motive remains a mystery, there has been increasing speculation that his apparent academic troubles may have played at least some role.
3 of the 5 hospitals that treated the victims from the mass shooting will waive or limit medical costs. Children's Hospital of Colorado will use donations and a charity fund to cover the expenses of the uninsured victims and waive copays for the insured. Medical Center of Aurora and Swedish Medical Center have also said they'll limit or eliminate costs to victims. Overall, about $2 million has been donated to the recovery efforts for the victims, with a big chunk of that coming from Warner Brothers, who made the Batman film.
One of the victims in the shooting is a Nevada resident. The body of a former Reno resident who died in the mass shooting in Colorado is being flown home to be buried. The family of 26-year-old Navy veteran Jonathan Blunk says his body is arriving Friday at the Reno Tahoe International Airport. A funeral service is scheduled August 3rd at the Mountain View Mortuary. Blunk was among 12 people killed in a movie theater in Aurora at a screening of The Dark Knight Rises. 58 other moviegoers were wounded. Blunk graduated from Reno's Hug High School in 2004.
And we'll have much more local news when News 46's Weekend Review returns. Don't go.